can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster Juice, freshly made your way.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and off-break curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Saville Shootout here at the Saville Curling Center in Edmonton, Alberta. Very excited to bring you Draw 7 here of the Saville Shootout. My name is Jim Nix. I'm going to be joined today for the first time by Chase Fulton. Welcome, Chase.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you. Chase is somebody that I curl with at my curling club and has played junior at our club for years, a really good player, and he's looking forward to us. The debut performance here. He probably got a few nerves, even though he doesn't like to admit that most of the time. So we've got Kerri Einarson, who most of you are very familiar with, one of the top teams in the world. Kerri's sitting at 2-0 in this event and had a couple of lopsided victories, really. She defeated Mayoru from Japan 9-3, and she defeated Jessie Hunkin from here in Alberta by an 8-3 score. So she has 2 games left. She'll play this afternoon and then again this evening. We will have both those games for you. And Selena Sturmay is sitting at 2-1, and this is her final game. Needs to win to really secure a playoff spot. So should be an exciting game, I think, Chase. Both these teams are really good. We would have seen a lot of Kerri Einarson over the last few years. Not quite as much with Selena Sturmay, but she's a really solid player. So early strategy sort of shows the center guard going up. And I come around here with hammer for Kerri Einarson. Now, Chase, you see a lot of times in these games where teams are not too aggressive in that first end. Everybody, particularly on the women's side, and I don't mean to sound sexist with that, but the women's teams tend to play a little more defensive, but they're not doing that here in the first end.
No, they did certainly go a little more aggressive.
Sweeper's backing off this. You'll see the ice here, Chases, and I know you wouldn't have probably had a chance to see some so far. The ice here at the Saville Center is really, really good, especially considering it's so early in the season. You've got normally about 4 feet of curl, and probably, although I haven't timed anything, it certainly looks like a nice speed as well. So lots of fun to play on, I think.
Good ice to play on then.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta love curl. Curlers love curl. That was a little heavy. Slides to the back. This one looks maybe a little heavy too, Chase.
Yeah, I think it's going to slide back. About the same as the last one.
Yeah, not a good result on that one. I'll give you the lineups and the players and all that as we move along here, but for now we're just trying to sort it out in our own minds. We do have, you just kind of ignore the scoreboard that's up there. You'll see, it's disappeared. Well done. So we will get that updated and get the right names and colors on that scoreboard, so you'll know what's going on, and so we'll know what's going on sometimes. Super shot there.
Beautiful draw in.
So Chase, it's always going to be a little bit of a challenge, even though the teams have practice. I assume that first end, and you've done a lot of sweeping in your days, and just for sweepers, just to get a feel for what that weight is and what your players are throwing, and how much you have to go and how much you don't early in the game. It's got to be a bit of a challenge, I assume.
It takes a bit. It takes probably an end or two to really kind of figure out what the ice will do. After about the first end, that's usually when you've thrown rocks on all sides of the sheet, so you kind of get a better idea as to what it'll do.
Sure. And it definitely helps with teams now. Almost all events, certainly on the cash bill circuit, almost all events have some level of practice before games, and these guys had practice and then draw to the button for hammers. So most of the spiels now, I think, and you'll find that they do that. So that's a great help in ensuring that teams can get off to a more interesting start.
Certainly, I think having the chance to throw some rocks before the game starts gives each team a kind of a grasp as to what the ice will do.
For sure. This looks like a pretty good guard. Kerri Einarson going to peel that off. Just trying to figure out the hammer situation here, trying to count rocks. I'm just not. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we'll have to wait. So we got Val Sweeting coming up. It's easy to tell Val. She's got the left-hander going. There's not too many. There's some, but there's not a whole lot of left-handers still in the game. So Val probably won't have any trouble with this. Really solid player, has been for a long, long time. And everybody now, Chase, can throw the up weight, even on even teams that didn't before do that. They just spent a lot of time, I think, in developing that up weight. And the women's game, which for a few years probably didn't play as many of those shots, now play just as much as the men's, I think.
Yeah, I've noticed that the higher weight peels have certainly become a little more popular.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen, I guess I haven't really done, just trying to think if I did any. Yeah, we did a men's game, but haven't seen as many of the real, those 6-second kind of peels in this event so far, but we've still seen all kinds of upweight shots. So another good guard for the Sturmay squad that doesn't completely guard the red, but I don't think it's accessible for Einarson to get to that. So she will probably peel the guard again. Danielle Schmie, I don't know how she say her last name. I think it's Sheeman from the Sturmay squad, just a third stone. Might get some clarification on that pronunciation here as we go on. Same shot here. I think they're trying to save the shooter here. I think they can roll this on. Chase, that would be a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah, I think the yellow rock hit the red thick enough that it rolled and stays.
Yeah. And you look at it and you say, well, it's like, oh yeah, what, number 6 or something, but you know what, you never know. Sometimes some of those rocks come into play unexpectedly, and if you can save the shooter, why not?
Never hurts to have one out in the 12-foot.
Yeah. So Selena Sturmay, another curler out of the University of Alberta Golden Bears program. Actually, when my daughter played university curling and went to the CISs, and Selena was there representing University of Alberta at that time. And she represented it very well because I think she won that event. How deep do you think she wants this, Chase?
I'd say top of the 12.
Top 12.
Even if it it's not outshot of the yellow sitting there as long as you keep it close enough that Kerri can't draw around it.
Yep. I think that's going to be about perfect. Could be probably a little tighter, but it was starting to curl a little bit, so I don't think they could afford to get on it. They were going to lose the line if they did. But the nice thing here, I think, is that it guards that low side. For Kerri Einarson to remove the red, she has to get to the well, it depends on the overhead. You'd look here, and she'd have to get to the right-hand side to remove the red, and she can't do that because that guard, even though it's not directly in front of the red, it guards that side. So
yeah,
Einarson now will have to get rid of the guard again. Only 2 rocks to come in this end. Moving right along, which is nice because out of 3 games yesterday that I did 2 of them that went 3 hours plus. So it'd be nice to have one that just ran a nice normal couple hours for 8 ends. So Kerri Einarson, definitely one of the best hitters out there, especially at the skip level. She just loves to throw the hard one, and she doesn't miss too many. So you can see here, there's not going to be a problem here. Slide another rock into the edge there, but I don't think those are destined to count, those ones. So probably going to be the same shot, I think, Chase?
I believe so.
I don't think I see any other options. It's, feel free to jump in if you do, if you see something that we don't, that we might not think about. But I think really you've played this shot about, probably 4 times in a row now. So I can't imagine you're going to change it, and you should be able to have a pretty good feel of what you need to make it good. So
she made her first one pretty good. I think she can.
Yeah. So Selena Sturmay out of right here in Edmonton, Alberta. Throwing an out-turn guard. Trying to steal one here in end number 1. Almost a nice way to start, particularly when you're playing a team at the level of the Einarson team. It'd be nice to find a way to steal one here. This one's got a curl. I'm going to try to carve this over a little bit. Still got to get over there a long ways. You can keep it moving long enough.
I think it'll be pretty good lined up.
Yeah, I think super nice job there by the sweepers. I wasn't sure it had enough, Chase, to get that far, and if it didn't, it would have opened up maybe the little pick on the side. So Kerri Einarson now will attempt to draw the button. She needs pretty much the full rock on the button. Certainly not the shot you're hoping to have with your last rock in the first end, but it's only against 1. That's the good news. She's got a couple of pretty darn good sweepers. She's got Carly Burgess, who we know well from because she lived just up the road from us here where we are. And had Shannon Burchard yesterday, but I don't think that's Shannon there today. I think that might be Karwacki. I'm not positive. We'll see that after. It might be. This one's going to be light. Yeah, pretty tough shot, I think, for the first end, and not really real close on that. Oh, this is going to be yellow after all. Okay.
I was going to say it was pretty close.
Yeah. Well, you were right. I was making an assumption all along that she was shot rock, and probably didn't change anything. So Einarson will pick up 1 here in the first end, take an early 1-0 lead after one end of play here at the Saville Shootout.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So we're back for second-hand action here in our game between Kerri Einarson and Selena Sturmay. Einarson out of Gimli, Manitoba. As I said, Sturmay's out of right here in Edmonton, Alberta. Two really good teams, really good field in the women's side. Actually, when you look at the draw, there's not too many of the top teams that are missing. There's certainly a couple, but most of the teams are here. So I didn't see the first shot. I guess maybe that will help. Carly Burgess now going to try to remove the red. So Chase, when you're playing, in the case of Sturmay, and Sturmay is definitely a solid team, but if you were gonna seed this out, you would assume that you'd say, well, Einarson would be the at least small favorite, slight favorite to win this game. So if you're somebody like Selena Sturmay and you're a little bit of the underdog, does that impact how you play? Like versus do you want on the sheet? You don't need to have an answer directly on what you might do here, but I'm just wondering if that comes into play really when you're thinking about that, how to go about this end, say.
I think so. I think you'll tend to play a little more conservatively. You won't maybe try to take as many risks unless necessary.
Yeah. And the reason I asked that was because I see she went right up to the corner guard, but you know what, the game now, yeah, and I think you're right. It's the tendency sometimes if you think you're a little bit whatever, maybe a little less experienced, a little less solid, maybe a little lower ranked or something, then you might tend to go a little too conservative. You got to be careful because obviously, at the end of the day, if you go too far that way, you don't win, but you lose closure, and I don't know if that's any better, right? So, so it's an interesting thing. But so we got a corner guard go up for Sturmay, a little bit long maybe, but it's a very deceiving angle, and if you haven't seen this before, Chase, you'll see the overhead. It looks like the rock is well out front of the rings, and in the long shot, it looks like it's only like 4 or 5 feet out of the rings. So even for us, that gets a little confusing sometimes. But either way, pretty good corner guard, and now I see that Einarson put up the center guard, and you're going to see Sturmay hit that and try to roll in behind, kind of set up maybe some stacked corner guards, and that'll be an interesting thing we'll get to talk about maybe a little bit as this game goes on, is when that double corner guard is good or when it's not good. And I'm a little older, maybe a little older school, so I sometimes I'm a little slow to kind of grab this idea. I'm not sure I love the stack guards, but and that's pretty nice. She's got them if she doesn't love them or does love them. So not a bad setup for both teams right now. So I mentioned that Karwicki was playing in place of, I think it's Karwicki. I think I'm saying that right. I don't have her listed on my sheet here. So in place of Shannon Burchard. And that's quite possible because, as most of you know, Burchard missed pretty much all of last year with some knee issues. I don't know if she had surgery or anything like that on her knee. I just know that she just wasn't able to play. And she played certainly the first game because I did the first game. I don't know if she played the second game. So So it may be a case of where they're going to run 5 players through here for a little while. And not put too much pressure on here. The game's tough on the old legs, I think. Not so much for you young guys, Chase, but for everybody else getting a little older. It's not an easy game on the old knees sometimes. Not that Shannons are old by any stretch, but... Well, interesting call here. Selena Sturmay is going to play the hit and roll. You trying to roll behind the yellow, Chase, or do you want to go all the way across behind the reds?
I think you'd go across, try to get way behind the reds.
Yeah, I think I like that better too. It's it's not bad if it's behind the yellow, but I think if you get behind the reds, it would be a better option for you.
Yeah.
Desiree Hawes, it's the second stone for Selena Sturmay. Hawes, I believe, at one time played out of Alberta. Or not Alberta, sorry, BC. I think she used to play with Corinne Brown, but I'm not absolutely positive on that. Didn't quite get it, so Einarson will try the same thing. And she may not want to roll so far. She might like to just stay and roll behind her own, but sometimes you don't get those rolls you want. See, this team's not overthrowing these shots. Still not quite getting the curl, but that's kind of a nice weight. Just a nice solid takeout weight. Nothing big, nothing crazy. Sturmay thinking about whether or not to just play the straight draw or to play the hit and roll again. Which one do you like, Chase?
Thirds first.
Yeah.
I mean, she's thrown the hit at it a few times now, so
keep going with that.
Try to make it, see if you can, and then.
Sure. I think the other side of that is that rock is, the yellow rock, a little bit of a dangerous rock to leave there for sure.
Okay.
Looks like she might have set this out just a little bit. Pretty good. Well, good try. Didn't quite get there. This end is a little bit backwards, it almost feels like to me. You feel like that Einarson's playing some hits in some spots that it would make really nice guards, but and Sturmay has had a couple chances to maybe say, well, I'm not going to do that. Let's just get it right around. The problem is that the one she's coming around is a center guard, and she doesn't really always want to go there. So it's Val Sweeting. Oh, this one's got a really curl. Well, kind of interesting there. It's you saw some a different looking sweeping stroke. You see that a lot now. I think I first saw that with the teams coming out of Asia. Basically, they'd have that little kind of hop step from behind, and we're seeing it more and more. I'm not exactly sure why that might be more effective to some other shots, but I actually caught Chase yesterday. I don't know where I saw it now, actually, but I just saw a little tiny blurb of Gushu's front end, and they were experimenting with that sort of thing. They had one of the brooms, the brooms that you have for testing the pressure and all that you used before. Yeah, they had one of those, and they were just no rocks, not using any rocks, but they were just doing that from the house to the hog line to the house or something. And they were looking at trying to do that the exact same move we just saw there, kind of out of the Einarson team, and that little hop and trying to decide on the effect of that and everything. So teams spend a lot of time working on this kind of stuff, and the average person probably doesn't realize how much they do spend to work on that stuff. But it's an odd looking thing, and I just don't know exactly what the benefits are. I don't know if you've heard anything about that at all, Chase, but I sure haven't. So.
Well, I know some of the teams I've played, like for Isaac. I know Kaylin's always done it that way. And
Is
I
that
think
right? Yeah.
I think the purpose of it is to get that extra bit of weight on the broom coming down.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Because I think it's going to be interesting to see as the season goes on here, and we see some of the top end teams and um, how they've adapted to that. And the other thing that's new this year too is that teams are having to deal with a different composure or complexion of the broom, basically, with some different foams and things that some of the stuff they were using last year or trying to use last year were just said to be too abrasive and causing too much breakdown on pebble and everything. So they've kind of banned some of those, and I don't know if it's going to affect the average Joe, to be honest, Chase, or to us as we watch it. But I think for the top end players, they're probably going to notice a big difference. Anderson playing the freeze here, and this looks really good. Pretty nice. Pretty nice for hand number 2. I don't know if she can get to that, Chase. I'm not sure that. I don't know if she can come around that guard. It's a long guard, but I don't know if she can come around there and get to the right side of that, or can she do it on the in-turn?
I think so far the other side hasn't been curling very much. I don't know what kind of weight she's going to be trying to throw in at this, but I don't know if you'll get across the face of it coming the in-turn.
Yeah. Well, I think coming on the okay. Yeah, I don't know if you in-turn or out-turn. So she goes here. She's going to throw the in-turn down this side.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have to get across the face, right? She just has to get to the yellow and bump it past her red. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough shot. The problem here, I think, is that and you would know from your playing too, you have to kind of eliminate all the accessories on this shot. If you like, you've got rocks out there all over the place, but you have to just focus on the broom and the weight, because at the end of the day, none of those rocks are actually in play if you make the shot. So if you know what I mean, it's not, in other words, you wouldn't make contact with any of those stones if you actually make this. So you have to just kind of blank all that out, focus on the broom and the right weight and trust it, as they say. Sturmay with a lot of rotation. Don't see quite as much of that rotation in clubs as you do in the arenas. This is not going to work. Well, the good news is it at least split it all off. It looked for a minute like she might end up just bumping it and staying right there. Bad news is that Kerri's going to hit this, and you're going to be forced to take one. But yeah, that was probably a new shot, really, for them on that side of the sheet. She wasn't really very close with that, so I have to assume it was just and she gave it tons of handle. Like, I mean, if anything else, you'd say, well, you probably needed another 1.5 foot of ice anyways, because if she threw it at the broom with that much rotation, she wouldn't have gotten a whole lot of curl.
No.
Kerri will wet this a little bit softer. Really wants to save the shooter here. Make sure she has both of them. Doesn't want to allow the chance to blank for Selena Sturmay. It's going to work. Threw it a little bit harder than I thought she'd throw it, to be honest. But Kerri likes to throw it. I think she's going to have a great year. I think last year, if you recall, it was a really, really tough year. She had Brianna Harris was out for the year still with the suspension issues, and that didn't get settled till just about the end of the year. And then Bircher went out with the injury. So I don't know how many different lineups she had, but it was a lot. And they still performed pretty darn well. I mean, she had spares. She had different spares. She had Joanne Courtney for a spiel or two, if I recall. She had McEwen for a spiel. It was like, and she won some of those spiels. It just had to be a really, really tough year. And then even just making decisions going forward on who was going to be on your team and stuff, it had to be pretty stressful. I think she's going to be really happy to see just the same 4 people or 5 people out there
Yeah.
on a regular basis and just play instead of having to be figure out all the other stuff. Good shot for Selena Sturmay. Nice and solid. She'll pick up one, and we'll have a 1-1 tie after 2 ends of play, and we'll be back right after the break.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
At some point between now and the break after 4 ends, maybe after this end, not right now, just kind of, if you're able, if you have a setup there that you can look up the speaker Curly zone and pop it in and see if you can just get the games, the scores. So we're back. Got a 1-1 tie chase so far. Not really much to decide between the two teams. Just a couple of draws. Good draws on one team, one on the other team to kind of make sure that we ended up 1-1 after 2. Still early. It's only the 3rd end. Got a long guard went up for Selena Sturmay's team. Kerri Einarson going to throw up the corner. Don't know how you get around it, but it's there. So we'll go with a little tighter guard for Sturmay here. Kind of end up setting up a double guards. Paige Papley is the lead stone for Sturmay. As she looks to kind of set up both these. It'd be nice to have both these on the center line. Notice the first one isn't. The other night, Chase, when something we don't see very much anymore, did a men's game on the first draw, and it was both lead stones didn't end up on the center line. And sure enough, the other team made 2 tick shots both times, made them perfect, and just shows the value of that rule change, really, to stop teams from being able to move those stones. And even though nobody's really practicing that as much anymore, just because they don't get to throw it that much anymore, they made it look pretty simple. Carly Burgess being asked to play the tick shot.
Just as we said, it wasn't so common.
I know. This is the 3rd tick shot I've seen in 3 games now, and I probably only saw 3 all of last year. So they play this shot a little bit different now. They do tend to play it a little bit lighter. For a while, when they first started with Lisa Weigel created it, seems like she created it anyway. It was a shot that was played with more like a hack weight kind of shot. And then teams did eventually bring that down and not worry so much about if you happen to tap it into the house or not. So Sturmay now with a pretty good setup here. If she can make this one, she's got 2 that aren't center guards, but they're not bad. If you can get around this on the in-turn. Desiree Haas being asked to come around the guard and the rock that's biting the 12-foot, which is also a guard really at this point. Having a good time down there. That's important. Have fun when you play the game. I have no idea what they're talking about, but they seem to be having a good time down there, so that's all good. Is getting out there a little further than where we've been to. It'll be interesting to see how it runs out here. It's interesting because years ago we always thought, well, it's going to be heavier, and now sometimes it's keener as you get out there. This could be good. If you can get enough curl.
Just gonna slide back. Oh no, stops.
Yeah. Yeah, probably a smidge deeper than she wanted, but pretty darn good. So Kerri Einarson will try to remove this, but try to stay around on this, I think, Chase?
I think so. Try to roll out of the way, but maybe behind that yellow.
Yeah, good opportunity here to make the little hit and roll behind that corner guard, or kind of a tweener guard in between a corner and a center guard, but it's more corner than center, so a little roll behind that would be pretty good. And she's going to be really close. Might roll a little too far. Yeah, goes just a little far. You see that? That is Kristen Carr-Wicke playing today. So it's an opportunity for Selena Sturmay now. Einarson with hammer in this end. Again, a shot you'd like to hang around on. Trying to hold it out there. And she's going to be okay. I would have liked a couple inch roll there just to stop Einarson from playing this shot, really, if she does play it, which I don't think she will.
Yeah, that's what she's calling.
Yeah, okay. It's a weird one, because if you make it too good, you force Sturmay into playing the come around to the top of the 8-foot or something like that, and that might be a better shot for her anyway, so we'll see. Working hard to hold it. Oh, very nicely done. It's exactly what they called for.
Yep, beautiful shot.
Did you ever give any thought to ignoring this chase and coming right around? I guess I actually have the last rock advantage is backwards here. So Einarson has the last rock advantage. I was thinking the other way for a minute, but yeah, same question though. Would you ever think about coming right around, or would you definitely stay with this hit here?
I mean, where it's only the third end of the game and it's still only 1-1, I don't mind coming round to the 8-foot, see if you can get second shot and guard that one on the tee line there a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, she didn't, but she made a double, so that's pretty good too.
That works.
Yeah. Yeah. So Val Sweeting now will be asked to remove the red. It's probably pretty much dead buried, but the guard that's there is a long ways out, so it won't be all that difficult, I don't think, for Val to remove this one. Well, she gets by that guard.
It's going to be close.
Oh, that's very nicely done. Yeah, nice roll. Stayed on that all the way. Selena now on the brink of it too, so that's I'm not quite sure what Danielle's doing down the hack. Doesn't look comfortable or something down there. I'm not quite sure. Well, she's gonna go down and talk about it. Maybe that was all it was. She just wasn't really 100% sold on what they were thinking. So options here, Chase. What's the possibilities? You got Sturmay throwing. She doesn't have hammer. There's probably a couple of shots, maybe.
See if you can try to pick that one out. Through the camera, it's a little hard to tell how much of that yellow you can truly see, but I think the gap's big enough with a lower weight shot. You might be able to get to it and
try to remove it, just
pick it out or even push it back while yours stays.
Yeah. Sort of has that ice that would indicate maybe a back line, maybe a little bit more than back line. I think if you're going to move it, for me at least, I look at these shots, I think like, well, if I'm going to move it, then I'd like to move it out. And if I'm not going to move it, then I'd like to just play the straight freeze to it. So that's for me the two options that I see. And the third option, I guess, is, I guess they're not exactly options, but the third option I would say would be the run back. And that's a pretty long run back. And just late in the end, if you don't make it on the first crack, you're giving up two probably. So,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, this is going to be really close.
Looks good. Got a curl.
Yeah. And that is a great curling shot. Oh, it didn't maybe quite get it out.
The yellow still in.
Yeah, that's a big, yeah, you're going to see the replay here. Chase, what do you think?
Yeah, just it needed to curl or hair more weight, but I think if it curls just an extra inch, it gets that yellow out.
Yeah, that could be a big half-inch, couldn't it? Like at the end of the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever that is, probably not much more than a half an inch.
Doesn't look it.
Painful to have that one count if you're Sturmay. But a few rocks to come yet. It's not going to count yet, so this one might roll a little far. I guess they probably were trying to get over there. So nicely done by Val Sweeting. It's one of the ones that sometimes is good to roll behind, because if you roll behind, you force them to come down there. Maybe that's not such a good thing. So she's probably better off and probably wanted to roll for as far as she could there. So
yeah,
because Sturmay can't really afford to ignore it. She's in a 1-1 game, and you just can't decide, well, I'm just going to ignore that, come around center guard, and all of a sudden drop 3. So. And I think she can actually, if she can throw it hard enough, I think she can get all the way over to the other yellow.
It'll be close. The angle's right, just if she can get the weight on it.
Yeah. So then Sturmay's first here in the third end. Can't really tell where the back one is, but it seems like it's curling a lot. And it did. Got it out, but just barely. Just judging by ice, Chase, I'm thinking maybe just not enough weight for that shot. We can't see exactly how she threw it, but it was kind of, they picked it up out of her hand, and just didn't seem like it had a lot of oomph on it when I got there. So maybe just a little light. So Kerri Einarson with a really good opportunity here to secure a deuce at least, and come around here, and I'm thinking, I don't know, top 4 foot behind that guard would be pretty good. So Einarson with hammer here in the third end. Going to throw her first shot. She's going to throw the in-turn draw behind the guard. Even the guard so long we can't even see it on the other thigh, on the overhead picture. But I think she's in a pretty good spot here to score a couple. You know she's going to be close on this. It's not going to be not going to end up wide open somewhere. And I think that's pretty good. Tough call now for Sturmay. What are you seeing here, Chase? Any thoughts? No hammer, tied up, one apiece. Third end.
I mean, Einarson made a heck of a shot on that last one there, so I don't know if Sturmay can get to that one. I think she's going to try it. Might be the double, the thin double.
Yeah. On that one and the one way at the back, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really thin. She probably would almost not get the other one out, but still, yeah. Looks like she's making some kind of play on it, that's for sure. I don't know if that's the same ice she had a minute ago. I thought she had a little bit touch more than that, but plan A would be to make sure you get rid of that yellow one.
Yeah.
And plan B would maybe stay behind the red would be nice. I don't think I don't think they'll ever be that, unless it'll be a mistake if they ever hit it thin enough to make the thin double, I think. Not a mistake because it's wrong, just a mistake because she didn't mean to do it. Working hard on this. There it goes, pretty good now. She get enough of it. And that's going to stay out, and it will. Well, if I was drawing that up, Chase, I think that would be plan A. What a great shot, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, terrific shot. Perfect weight. Just enough weight to get it out, and not so much weight that you rolled into the open, which would have gave Kerri Einarson a wide open shot for two. So a great shot by Selena Sturmay there to save a potential 2 or 3-ender. Kerri Einarson now will play the draw. She just threw the shot. And just a draw for 1. You have to feel like you sort of escaped an end here if you're Sturmay. It's sometimes you get those ends. Sometimes they go for you, sometimes they go against you. But where you really look like you're going to give up a couple for the last half of that end, to be honest. And then all of a sudden something happens. You make one good shot and you get out of it with a single. And you don't even really care who gets a single. It's just happy somebody's getting a single. So Kerri Einarson now picks up 1, takes a 2-1 lead. As we finish 3 ends of play here at the Saville Shootout. We will be back after the break.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward, where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game.
The connection
we want
for it
to
to
do
plug
the
it
same.
into the computer.
Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage
so close
it
to
needs.
the actual outlet.
Make your curling club
plugging the
the
laptop
next
in
Curling Stadium.
that it doesn't work. Like I got to unplug the laptop to be able to use it, which is fine if you're going to use a laptop for like 25, half an hour, even maybe an hour. But I don't know if it'll last 2 hours, or 3 hours. Anyway, drives me nuts. Anyway, so I might be on Marketplace for 40% off by the end of the day tomorrow.
celebrity appearances, and off-break curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at theGrandSlamOfCurling.com. Let's rock.
So we're back for N4. The Saville Shootout here on Curling Stadium. Thanks very much for joining us, and if you like what you see and you want to see more curling, be sure to like and subscribe to our site on YouTube, as we need you to help support us to be able to bring you more curling. We already bring you a lot of curling, and we are thrilled to do that, so you want to keep that going, please just hit that little button and give us a subscribe, and we'll appreciate that greatly. So chase 2-1, play in the fourth end. Sturmay with hammer. Not a bad situation for her.
No, she's already got the corner up. Einarson's got the center guard. She's going to try to come around to your runner's lead second shot.
Yep. There's a lot of bags out there on the side of the ice. 10 sheets here at the, or 10 or 12 sheets here. 10 sheets here at the Saville Center. And overcurled just a little bit, but not bad. Selena Sturmay now will ask her lead, Paige Papley, to just play the freeze to the yellow. That's a good shot. Kerri Einarson playing the same shot. This could be a very interesting end. Oh, she's looking for the high guard. Sorry, I thought she was coming right in on top, but wouldn't make sense. I guess she got shot rock in there. Good guard. I think you'll probably going to see some peels happening now. Chase, your favorite shot, I think, this one, isn't it?
The one I make the most.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you throw this one good, so. Desiree Haas now being asked to make the double peel here. Desiree with lots of handles, so she doesn't have to be quite as heavy. She will stay pretty straight. I'm not sure if that was exactly plan A, but it was definitely there, and it worked out pretty well for her. I would have thought they were just going for straight double peel there.
Double peel, yeah.
Yeah. So, Karwacki now. I think second stone will look to come through the port. And probably, if she could do it, roll right behind the center guard. That was a good shot. Didn't get a roll, unfortunately, but still a pretty good shot. Good, nice opportunity for Sturmay now, though. Ideally, you roll behind the corner chase or behind the center guard?
I'd say behind the corners.
Yeah, me too. You got hammer. I don't think you want to go anywhere but there. I think that would be a really good result. And plus, you actually have kind of two rocks there, so you have a pretty wide guard. Skipper signaling no here. Would kind of indicate that she thought she was a little wide, but she sure doesn't. It sure doesn't look like that. Whoa. Well, you know what? That just that soft weight. You didn't quite get what you wanted, but that soft weight pretty much did the trick for her. I think if she had thrown a little bit harder, she's probably going to roll out into the open there.
Yeah.
It's an interesting call if Kerri comes around there. It's, you know, the old adage, you'll hear me say that a lot, is that, you know, you don't like to chase around corners, and Kerri's going to do that. Kind of. She's not exactly chasing, but she's going around a corner, which, I don't know. Not sure that you really want to go there. One thing it does, it probably, as long as you get over there somewhere, you probably at least take that red one out of play as far as the scoring option goes.
Yeah.
This is a little warm, but yeah, pretty good shot. A little deep. I think ideally a couple feet shorter chase would have been better, but
Yeah. Try to stay in front of that red a little bit.
yeah. Oh, working really hard on this. I don't think she's getting there.
Nope. Just short.
Yeah, can't be too happy with that one. That was you know, not one that you wanted to come up light on. Still in a pretty nice spot for you, at least. But if you get in there and you get anywhere in front of that yellow one and shot rock, then Kerri's got a challenging situation to deal with.
Yeah.
You kind of let her off the hook a little bit here. So coming around the guard, we've seen the shot a few times now. In turn, come around. Tell you what, it hasn't got a lot of steam on it, but
No, it's going to hit the guard, I think. Yeah.
so we've seen lots of great shots in this game, but right now the teams are just struggling a little bit. Danielle Schmiemann. Being asked to promote the red, basically make a raised takeout is what she's doing here. And actually, if she makes it well, she could easily be sitting 3. Good chance to redeem yourself, I think, after the last one. The last one wasn't her best. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold this or not, Chase.
That's going to be close.
That's a really good shot. Very unfortunate to where it ended up, to be honest, but if that hole's not that big and you somehow found a way to end up with your rock rate being smack dab in the middle of it, you know, any luck at all, and it's like at least half buried somewhere on one side or the other. But you're sitting 3, and that can't ever be a bad thing, and Kerri doesn't exactly have a gimme shot here to make and to do anything with it. Kerri Einarson, out-turn hit here, their first rock in the fourth end without hammer, looking at 3. Ooh, did they leave this? They did. I was just going to say, did they leave that too long? I guess they were sweeping a little bit and they just kind of came off it, but massive turnaround here in this one. Selena Sturmay can put this in a good spot. She is not going to leave very much for Kerri Einarson. Not an easy way to escape, that's for sure. Where do you want this one, Chase?
Just off center there, covering the red in the back of the 4-foot there.
Short
really
of the rings,
just
in the rings, or?
Out front, make the...
Yeah. Right where she just patted, basically, I guess?
Yeah.
She looked for a couple feet in front of the house. Just basically take the hole away. You don't want to get too fancy with it, but if you ever just slid to... If you bit the top of the 12-foot, just bit the top of the 12-foot, it's probably fine as well, but... If you make this, talking just a little bit further, if you put the guard up where she wants it, guessing Kerri Einarson's going to have to come around the yellows. And she would only need a piece of the 8-foot to be number 2, so that's not the end of the world by any stretch, but Sturmay now trying to throw a guard. Fairly tight guard. Girls working hard on this one too. It'll be okay. Ice is obviously just a little bit, has to be a little tighter than they're expecting it to be because a little heavier. Again, that was not really, it wasn't horrible by any stretch, but it was not certainly a great throw. She was really wanting to be a little tighter and a little bit more out to the broom. I'm guessing that she had to be a little bit tight on the release there. So a really tough call here for Kerri Einarson. Coach Reed Carruthers. Not a lot of teams have their coach with them at these events, but certainly a few here. I don't know. I haven't seen Reed. I haven't seen any real men's play yet this year. I don't know who's playing with Reed this year. If he's got same squad or what, but I think she has no choice but to come around in the interim myself. I just don't know where else you go. You could take a chance to get through that hole the way the stagger is. You might do that, but whew.
And she was looking at that first before she called the time out there. She was...
I think it's just too hard to get what's probably going to be number 2 because you're not probably going to be moving it. And if you're going to get number 2, and that's the best you're going to do, then find an easier way maybe to get there, which, you know, all things considered, that should be this one.
Yeah.
And you know it's going to curl, so you know it'll be pretty hard to remove if you just get it in the rings and partially behind the guard. So I like this call. I don't think the draw through the port is just, I think it's just too tough. I think you're asking to go up 4 if you play that. Here, I think you can avoid a big score, and maybe hold it, maybe even hold it just to 1. But Be nice to hold it to 2 at least. Nothing more than that. Kerri Einarson, final rock here in the 4th end. On its way. And jumped it early. Probably not doing much, but that's that outside sweeper. Doesn't tend to do a lot. I don't know. This could be really good, Chase.
Looks good.
That's a great, great shot. And a great sweep, but a really, really good shot. Still sitting 1 for Sturmay, but it's not looking nearly as good to score more than 1 as it did maybe a couple of minutes ago. Good job by the sweepers there too, Chase. I just thought when Karwacki jumped it early, I thought it was like they got to go hard and go all the way, and they didn't. They managed it perfectly. They did have to go fairly hard, but anyway, yeah, they had it figured out between the 2 of them. With everybody having 1 sweeper most of the time nowadays, the other sweeper's there for kind of moral support, but also can really assist a lot on things like that. So with the communication between the thrower and the skip. So Daniel Schmiemann now out having a look. A really good opportunity to maybe salt this one away almost if you can make it perfect, but I say really good opportunity. Yeah, it's a good opportunity on the score sheet. Not quite as easy to do on the ice, but that's a long shot and a very difficult shot, but it's a shot, and you've got really nothing else. So I think it's a good idea to take a run at it. We were going hard, though. I don't think it's going to curl enough. Are you going to take your own out? Oh, no. That was the danger of that shot. And Selena Sturmay, instead of getting 1 and tying it up here after 4, will give up 1, and Kerri Einarson will take a 3-1 lead to the 4th end break. We'll be back right after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So we're back for 5th end action. Kerri Einarson, a big turnaround on Selena Sturmay's last shot to end up scoring 1 and taking a 3-1 lead. So looking back on that chase, what do you think? Was it the right call or not?
I think it was the right call. You just had to be a little more careful to make that you knew when to give up on the rock. You knew it wasn't going to hit, just to try to avoid what happened.
Yeah, sometimes that's so hard to do too, eh? It's just it's just like a magnet almost sometimes, the rock. It doesn't matter what you do, it's gonna go there. But um, yeah, and it's hard. It's a hard one. There'll be a lot of people, if you watch this back, would say, well, she had no business playing that. She already had a point. Take a 2-2 tie after 4. That's good. That's actually, if you asked at the start of the game, you'd be like, yeah, I'm happy with that. But, you know, you're playing one of the best teams in the world, and you get a chance to maybe, with a difficult but not crazy hard shot, to maybe, you know, score 3, score 4, and take a pretty decent little lead. So, I don't know. I like the fact she played it, I think, more than whether or not she made it. So Selena's corner guard goes up. Kerri's got one in the house, obviously. Corner guard up for Sturmay, and now a guard coming back up for Einarson. Maybe for something not too long, I guess. Like this to be just on the center line. Your rock in the house is on the center line, so you'd like to be right in front of it. They go a little harder yet. It's pretty good. Sturmay now will go to around the corner guard. I was saying last night, in the last game last night, the late game, it was, and it was really late, the late game that we had this setup come up, and this, you know, the guard, the corner guard, another guard, and the corner guard, so come around the corner. So it was kind of, we only saw it last night for the first time this weekend, and I just know when you watch these games, you watch these top teams, you do see that strategy a lot, and you end up with that little box setup. It's almost like you could start the game 2 shots later. Just put all those rocks out there, because they just always put them in the right places. But so 4 rocks down. Lead stones are all where they're supposed to be. Kerri Einarson is going to chase around another corner guard. It's difficult a little bit, you know, quick to say, well, you should do this, you should do that. But, you know, even this shot, you're looking at this shot saying, well, and then you have to realize, well, look, I can't hit anything in there. I can't hit anything out front. So it's not quite as easy as it sounds sometimes to make those decisions. So,
yeah.
Working hard on this one, too. Might get there, but I'm thinking not. I'm thinking yes. Great shot. Saw it all the way. Great shot by Garwacki there. She's a nice corner freeze on the red. Pretty near eliminates that red rock from scoring. It's going to be really tough to get rid of that yellow and not get rid of the red at the same time. Sturmay now says, okay, that's enough. We got to get rid of some of these rocks in the front. Probably a very wise move. Is there any laws? Haws, rather, not laws. Looking for the run double, and she will make it. Desiree making that look pretty easy. So an interesting call, a little interesting thought here for Kerri Einarson. So I guess your shots chaser, you could freeze that or tap it or something like that if you wanted. You could go to the open side. Or you could even, if you're so inclined, you could throw up a guard, like a center guard. Just say, okay, you figure out what you're going to do, because I'm stymied, I guess. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna play this one just so you get to call another one. Yeah. A lot of thought going into this one. What do you think, Chase? 3-1 lead. I think that's one thing you got to remember.
Yeah. I think you played it to the open side. You're already shot one, so if you can get 8 foot on the other side, you're kind of forcing them to maybe a 1. And
yeah.
If you get lucky, you may be able to have a chance of a steal. But
yeah, I think I think this is an interesting call. I don't expect this shot, actually. This is, I think, a factor of being still pretty early in the end, I guess. But you can go to the open side. Selena's going to, push the envelope a little bit here. That's why I'm kind of surprised she's going out in front here. But Kerri can be pretty aggressive. She doesn't like to wait for things to go her way. She likes to try to make things happen. So by throwing a guard up here, kind of does that. But well, you guys talked about it. We're going to talk about it. So Danielle's so they're thinking about a lot of things here. So they're thinking about they could come down, tap the yellow, and probably roll a foot, and that probably puts the yellow one in behind the shooter. So you'll have a little bit of a guard with it, and it does definitely opens it up, which opens up that shot rock, which she's looking to do. But
yeah.
I think with your second stone, I think this is not a bad call. You may change on the next shot, but for this shot, I think this is not a bad call. So, pause shot now on the way. Trying to hold this. Got to make sure you get it by that guard. She will. A little tap. Should stay in front of it. Well, it's really nicely done. Yellow's still shot, I think, by the way that Kerri's tapping there. And the overhead does look like that. This is when it would be nice to have at least a mic or two on them on the ice here. So you see them do a lot of tapping. If you get a team that doesn't do that with their brooms, you really could sit here lost most of the time. So
leaves a lot to the imagination.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Carly going down to have a peek. Carly Burgess comes from probably I think it's probably fair to say the most famous curling family here in Nova Scotia. And just up the road from where we live, we're in New Glasgow, and Carly's originally from Truro, Nova Scotia, which is like a 35-minute drive up the street. And the Burgess family has dominated in all kinds of areas of curling over the years with Carly's dad and uncle and grandparents and everything. So it's it's a well-known name here. So trying to pick this out. She will. That was a good shot. I don't know exactly what it does for you, but it does stop a little bit of a tap on the 2 Sturmay stones. So she probably had to do something with it. So Danielle will be asked to remove this yellow. Hopefully get a little tiny bit of a roll to the outside. He's a good shot here. They need to put together a string of 3 or 4 good shots here to be able to score there too. That looked like she set that back a little bit. Got to curl. Man, it's got to curl a lot. But they do. And will she get all the way? She will get there. Pretty good, kind of in between for rolls, though. Would have been nice to roll one way or the other, Chase.
Yeah.
Val Sweeting with her final shot here in the 5th end. Val's in turn, this would be, which will curl a lot. And she will get over there, and that's going to work out pretty well. Well, it's the same old, I think, on this. She's looking at a couple options. Oh, one thing about Selena, she definitely shows us what she's talking about. And the big one-handed broom swoop around that center guard. I like that. Saying that, well, we could come right around, and she could, and I think she might on her next shot, but right now I think she'll probably make some kind of a play on these rocks over here. The problem is that she's got to get shot rock, but she's really got to be somewhere where hers is not easily removable. So, change in tactics here. Sturmay will ask Danielle Schmiemann to come right around the center guard. There's a little piece of dirt or something on the ice there. They were tidying up. Big shot for Danielle. Big shot for Danielle's team, but a big shot for Danielle as well. One sweeper going on it. She got enough weight?
Enough weight, but I think it's on the guard.
Yeah, that one is, and actually trying to half stagger those guards too, so really unfortunate result there for Danielle. Allows Einarson a chance to really make this end tough for Sturmay by coming around this guard and setting it, top 4 foot in behind everything. How deep are you thinking on this, Chase? Like all the way in, basically, or?
I'd say like top 4 foot if you can get right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that spot too. Kerri Einarson, who's for the most part had pretty nice draw weight tonight. It's just Burgess Karwicki on the brooms. It's looking pretty good. Looking really good. Very nice shot. Very nice shot by Kerri Einarson. And the sweepers. Sturmay in, I think, massive amounts of trouble here. Chase, rather.
Yeah.
Problem is, because you're already down 2, you can't just say, well, we'll just kind of follow her in there, and if we force her to 1, that's great. But, you know, there's not enough ends left, really, to say we can do that. So,
yeah.
She looks like she's making a play on the high yellow one. It just maybe... Yeah, probably has to do something to give her a chance to get to the button on the next shot. One's probably got to curl a little. Nice shot. Yeah, very nicely done by Selena Sturmay. She's still in heaps of trouble, but you can only do what you can do with 1 rock when you're throwing it. You can't manufacture shots that aren't possible. So Einarson going back, Chase. Are you thinking same place?
Same place, yeah.
Yeah. This end is just not working out for Team Sturmay at all, really. Kerri makes this one as good as the last one, then she's going to have a definitely good chance of picking up at least a single. It's really an identical shot to your first one, so you should be very close. Needs to curl a little more. Pretty good. Quite good. I think even a little bit gooder than the last one. So Selena Sturmay with a draw that she needs to have pretty near full button just to score 1 here in number 5. Boy, big shot. I think Chase pretty near have to make this one.
Certainly do. Otherwise, the 6th end might be a little bit more of a struggle.
Yeah. These are, 2 things about these shots. They're game changers if you miss it. But even though it's only a single point and you're not going to be in the right spot, down 3-2 without hammer play in 6, they can sometimes, a shot like this can sometimes change that momentum a little bit for a team too, just by making it, even though you're still going to be losing. It's just a big shot. Got to get by that high one though. Got to get by that one. Not going to get by, and
just curls too much.
And we have a steal of 3 for Kerri Einarson here in end number 5.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at
Good Nate Ender.
Yeah.
Let's rock.
I've heard you say that before. I haven't seen it work yet, but. To bed at like after 3.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So big development there in the 5th end when Kerri Einarson steals 3. Selena Sturmay coming up a little late on her last draw. Einarson now has a commanding 6-1 lead. So what do you do here, Chase, if your team's Sturmay? Like, you're down 6-1. You do have hammer, but what's kind of the plan if you were sitting there, the 4 of you were together? It's like, what are you thinking about how you're going to go here? What's your plan for this?
Got to get up the corner guards, a couple on each side, and just try to ignore what's happening in the middle until you get your setup, and then really just get some rocks in there and just.
So kind of like you say, the corner guards. I like that, and then like you say, try to get some like really. I guess at the end of the day, it's like you worry about theirs later.
Yeah.
Just try to get something of yours in a good place where they can't do anything with it. And then doesn't matter how many they got in there, then with a few rocks to come, try to figure out how to get them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, keeping in mind Kerri's going to help you a little bit because she's probably, although she may not, she's very aggressive. She's probably going to be whacking a few of these rocks here herself in a few minutes. But I wouldn't bet the farm on that. I use that word just for your benefit, Chase. So I know you guys you do run a farm as well as everybody having other jobs. So, but it was, it's true, really. You just got to kind of get some guards out. It's just tough. It's really tough. And I think you got to get your head around the fact that you only have 3 hands to go. So you can't just say, well, we can take 1 and 1 and 1 because that doesn't work. So I think you gotta, and sometimes you love to get 3 here, and I think that's got to be in your mind. But I think the idea is let's make sure we get a couple. Then unfortunately we got to steal 3 hands in a row probably. But if we don't get 2, the game's over. So let's make sure that we get 2. And if you had an opportunity to go for 3, you got to go for the 3 too, at the risk even of not scoring 2. So
yeah,
I agree. So Kerri now, she can't hit anything out front yet. She's got to wait 1 more shot, so she's got to throw this somewhere. Might not be a bad thing to just throw it through, to be honest, but these teams don't do much of that, to be honest. They usually just sort of say, no, we're going to keep going. We are on sheet number 10, up against the wall. Kristen Karawacki throwing her first shot here in the 6th end. Coming around the corner. Kind of, on this shot, I don't think you're really coming around this corner to bury it. You're really coming around it to take the use of it away from the other team, I think, Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the call here really is back line, so she's really not. It's to her benefit, I think, here not to actually remove anything from play.
Nope. Just try to push everything to the back, kind of make a net.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Desiree Haas is going to be playing the little raise, little tap back. We'll call it a tap back shot because that's kind of more like it is in a raise. So tap the yellow back, preferably just behind the tee line. And that would be perfect, I think. So now Kerri can do whatever she wants to do. A lot of teams would peel corner guards here, but she's not going to bother. She's going to hit the one in the house. And absolutely nothing wrong with that either. Should be fine. Kept the 8-ender alive, maybe. Yep. Selena probably trying to figure out where she can put it that Einarson can't remove it. So I think she's playing the freeze to the back one, Chase?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Sturmay really did need a win in this game. Now, 2-2 might sneak you into the playoffs. I'm not really sure, but I don't think I'd bet a lot of money on it. This one's getting over there not too bad. They'd like it to curl a little more yet, though. That's pretty nice.
Great job.
Yeah. I think Einarson has to peel the guard here, but she might not.
Nope, she's looking at the draw.
Yeah. Well, I guess with the luxury of a 6-1 lead, you can probably get away with this even if it goes a little tiny bit out of character, but the little hop sweep thing happening, and it's going to be pretty nicely done. It can be a hard game when things aren't going your way, and sometimes it can be an easy game when, even though you're playing well, everything seems to be going your way. So this is the tough part, and this is the tough part when you're trying to teach the game, because it's not easy to say, well, it's fine to sit back here like we just did a few minutes ago and say, well, you gotta go hard at it. You got to get rocks in the house and do all that kind of stuff, and then you'll figure out how to hit theirs later. But when you're halfway through the end and you're looking at it and saying, well, yeah, hit one of theirs, we'll hit it later, like you're sitting like 5 or something like that, 4 or 5, it's hard to just ignore that and say, well, you know, I got to move something, so what's it going to be? And you really don't, to be honest. Sweeper indicating it might be a little on the light side. Well, Val Sweeting with just an open hit here. Kerri Einarson in command here with a 6-1 lead. Now with a little bit of a wobble coming out there, but got it well under control long before she had to let it go. Very nicely done. I know I've done a lot of skipping in my life. Probably played skip more than any other position. And the odd time you have the games like this, and they're just really hard in the head. You just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, trying to figure out how to possibly make something happen, and you just can't seem to do that. Selena looking at possibly freezing to that high one at an angle that if Kerri goes after it, she will actually jam it on her other rock, on the other rock at the back of the 4-foot. It's just such a precise shot, but you know what? Right now, I don't know. You gotta do something. What do you do? Good question.
That's just it.
Yeah. Problem with this shot, it's just got to be so perfect. And I don't know if it's got anywhere near enough weight.
Gonna run out of steam.
That's really not close. So Einarson's biggest problem here is where do you put your number 6 shot rock? When you're looking at that as your biggest problem in the 6th end, you have a 6-1 lead, things are going well.
Not a problem you can complain about too much.
No, exactly, yeah. It's like the odd time when you have those games when you're losing by this kind of a score, or maybe even a little bit worse than this kind of score, and sometimes the other team is like taking forever to call shots, and you're just like, that can be so frustrating, but it's not exactly the same as this, but it's that same idea that it's just a bit of a hopeless feeling, and it just kind of compounds a little bit.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a tough call, even though it seems silly because you're up 6-1, but there's so many places you can put this rock where it actually ends up hurting you more than it helps you, which is, you hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
See, we're scrolling across the scoreboard there, and should have picked up on that a little tiny bit quicker instead of talking. We could have kind of done the scores as we went. So Ryan Cleater, I see, is in this spiel. He's one of the top Canadian men's teams. And Ryan Jakes is a regular here at Curling Stadium. And that's it. You're up to date. So I guess Kerri has decided to, I assume, play something more or less into the house, probably top 4-foot or something like that.
I believe so. Well, she's calling top 8.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Kerri's had a pretty good sense of the old draw weight in this game. Well, you definitely have to get 2, so I think you can pretty much ignore anything you want to ignore, but you still got to figure out a way to get 2. And you're going to need probably a miss to do it, so. That's really tough. That's just a little too steep, I think, to make that double that she just pointed at. And it doesn't do you much good if you go over top of it. It's very difficult, but I think you could actually come down on the in-turn and maybe get enough of that to make a surefire double there. That's sort of a public service announcement for Tourism Alberta or something in that last couple seconds. So Sturmay now will try to, I think, come down and move the yellow one. Be shot rock here anyway. At the very least, be second shot. I thought she might be able to throw enough weight to kind of, and maybe she is, to play, not necessarily make the double chase, but get really close to the double. And, well, heck with that. Might as well make it. Great shot. Yeah, very nicely done. See this again? Looks pretty good. Nobody's in any big hurry. And hits about a quarter of a rock, and well done. Very nicely done. Einarson will look to try to remove the red rock that Selena just made the double with. And probably on the scale of tough shots, not necessarily the toughest one she's had, but she does have to deal a little bit with a guard out front. This way. Really now trying to walk it over there. And she will get there. Very nicely done. And Sturmay now, one final shot to try to score here. I think overall, Kerri Einarson's team is rounding into shape pretty well. They seem to perform nicely. They obviously have been played at such high levels, I think, for the last whole bunch of years that there's no nerves really to be spoken of. But I think they're throwing it pretty good.
Oh, certainly.
And hit for one. And she should be okay. Maybe gonna roll. Can't see yet.
Roll.
Too far, maybe.
Too far. I think that's one yellow.
Yeah, I think you're right. I want to say thanks to everybody for viewing today, just in case we end up early out of here today. A nice little crowd this afternoon, and it'd be nice to have a little tighter game, but this one really was tight until a couple ends ago. Basically, Sturmay ends up taking out her own stone. So we'll be back after the break here for the final two ends.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries?
And we're all done. So we cut the break off a little early there just to get to the end here. And Kerri Einarson with a steal of 1 and 6 will win this one 7-1. She'll move on. She'll be 3-0. Move on to tonight's game against Tabitha Peterson. I think it's Tabitha Peterson anyway, from the U.S., who's sitting at 3-0 for the top seed in that division. I think this probably spells the end of the event for Sturmay at 2-2. I don't think she's going to be able to qualify. She wouldn't get out of this division for sure. And tough day. It was certainly Einarson's game today. She certainly played very well. And Selena got that one tough break. I think Chase was the kicker when she ended up taking her out on rock. That really changed the game, I think. Yeah. So anyway, once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate you here at Curling Stadium, and please stay tuned for the rest of the weekend. We've got at least a couple of draws a day coming for, or a couple of draws, a couple of games per draw coming to you for the rest of the event. And hope you enjoyed your time here at Curling Stadium. We'll see you again in the next draw. Thanks very much. Thanks to Chase. Thanks to Tim and everybody in the in production side. And we'll see you again here in Curling Stadium.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.